was a beautiful, sunny day. I could hear cars gently passing by as I was riding my bike in the bike lane. I looked down and saw the black leash leading to my wonderful dog. He was safely leashed and was running next to my bike, something that we both enjoy doing a lot. Suddenly, two dogs on the sidewalk dragged their owner behind them and they lunged at my dog. One of them bit my dog in the neck. In all of the chaos and commotion, I fell off my own bike. I was left in shock. I was scared. Hi, I'm Emily Hamblin, podcast host of The Enlightening Motherhood, mom of four, and parent coach for parents of neurodivergent and big emotioned kids. And I share this example with you because it was one of those moments when I realized how essential emotional regulation and learning to manage our own big emotions is. To say I was terrified is an understatement. Now, I won't go through all of the details of this dog attack, but the owner and I did work it out. My dog, he's actually going to be fine. I have quite a few bruises. I ripped my pants, and my bike wheel is bent. The trailer, which thankfully was empty, that my bike was pulling, also had a wheel that fell off from the damage of my fall. Now, I'd love to say I handled it perfectly and I didn't get dysregulated at all. And that's not true, but I can tell you that I handled this moment in the days that followed significantly better than I have ever handled such a traumatic, physically and emotionally event before. And I owe it to the work that I've been doing as a parent and learning to manage my own emotions, helping my children learn to manage their emotions, and helping thousands of parents around the globe raise emotionally healthy families. I wanted to let you know one extremely important part that helped me handle it so well, especially in the evening and days that followed the dog attack. It wasn't easy, but it helped so much. Forgiveness. I decided I wasn't going to hold a grudge against the dog owner or the dogs. It was hard. My dog and I were obviously attacked. We were obviously innocent. It was not our fault. It was somebody else's fault. Now I have the bruises, and I didn't need them on top of my back injury, right? And I don't think it would have been out of line for me to contact the owner and request money to pay for the bike repairs, a new trailer, some new pants. And if I were in a situation where financially I couldn't have afforded to take care of those things myself, I would have. But I would not have done so in a you'd better pay for your actions sort of thing, or I'm going to get back at you because you hurt me. I would have done so more, hey, this happened. Can we deal with the consequence? I bring this up because often when we think of forgiveness, we think that it's just becoming passive, that we don't care about what happened, that we don't need to try to make things right, and that there's never any consequences. And that's just not the case. Forgiveness is for the forgiver. That lady who owned the dogs that attacked mine, it really doesn't matter to her or not if I'm holding a grudge, if I'm sitting in anger and pain and bitterness and resent towards her. It doesn't really affect her. But do you know who it does affect? Me. When there's a judgy lady at the grocery store who says something about your parenting or your child, and we hold on to so much anger and hate and resentment towards that person when we're long out of the grocery store, that will probably never see us again, and we'll probably never see them again. It doesn't hurt them. It hurts you. I heard once that holding a grudge is like drinking poison and hoping that the other person gets sick. Forgiveness is not about the person you're forgiving. It's about you. It's about freedom. It's about freeing yourself from all of the chains and all of the heaviness that come from holding that grudge. It doesn't mean you can't hold boundaries. It doesn't mean you need to trust them. It doesn't mean that we don't have consequences sometimes that we need to deal with. It does mean we've learned to release. I shared recently in our last podcast episode that one of my kids had to stay in for recess at school, and I didn't think it was right. I still don't think it was right. But if I sit there being so angry at that teacher and I just can't let it go and I'm holding it against them in every single interaction I have with that teacher, I'm thinking, yeah, but you took away my kid's recess when you shouldn't have. It is going to hurt me. And I don't know about you, but I need all the positive energy I can in my life. I need things that are filling my cup and helping me feel more healthy, more alive, more at peace, and more free. Letting go of that inner grudge is key to having your own peace and emotional health. It's something I think we don't talk about a lot, and it's something that needs to be said. Forgiving our spouse when they parent in a way that we would have never parented, because for some reason our brains like to default to thinking that our spouse needs to be exactly like us in parenting, and if they do things differently than what we would have done, well, I would never do that. Our spouse is not us, and that's a good thing. I don't know about you. I kind of don't want to be married to myself. I'm glad I married someone else. But in all seriousness, it doesn't mean we don't want to have conversations and collaboration with them. It does mean we have a really healthy, free, at peace heart. The same with our kids. When our kids say things that are really hurtful, when they say, "You're the worst mom in the world, and I wish I was never born into this family." If we internalize that and we hold a grudge against our own child, it will affect our ability to show up as the confident, capable, and compassionate parent that we want to be. As we learn to flex our muscle of letting go of our grudges, letting go of that angst, and letting go of that bitterness and resentment that we feel towards others whenever they have done something that really is wrong, it frees us. The day after the dog attack, I thought I would be angry or frustrated or depressed or sad or anxious. I was at peace. It was an incredible feeling. I remember sitting in church the next day, feeling so much comfort and peace. That yes, I do still have things I need to do. I need to keep an eye on my dog. I need to evaluate whether or not he's going to need to visit the vet. I need to stay in contact with the dog owner, etc. And I've let go of the negative feelings about it. I've accepted that it happened. I've accepted that she was doing her best. And I hope that she changes things so it doesn't happen again. But I don't need to hold on to that past and make it be so heavy and hot in my own heart. I hope in your life that you can find the same peace from forgiving others, even when they've wronged you, especially if they've wronged you by accident. If they did something that was hurtful or offensive because they forgot or because they weren't careful enough with their words, especially let that go. Obviously, it wasn't intended. Even if they did it to hurt you on purpose, maliciously, you don't need to trust them. I still recommend you have boundaries. There may be consequences. And if you can find at all an ability to forgive them, in terms of you're not sitting in that bitterness and that hate or that resentment or whatever it is that you're feeling, that anger, and you can come to peace, you will feel free. You will have a weight lifted off of you that you didn't even know you were carrying. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, I love to hear from you. If you want to work with me further, you can join the waitlist for the Neurodivergent Survival Kit at emily-hamblin.com/kit. Or if you would like one of my free gifts, such as my free conflict resolution cards for kids, you can come and grab that at emily-hamblin.com. That link is in the show notes. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a beautiful day.